Hi there, students. Today we're going to look at your grades in Schoology and just get a better understanding of how they are calculated and how you can prioritize which assignments are most important for you to get made up. So in this little video, we're going to cover how to check your grades, what the different symbols in the gradebook mean, and how your grades are calculated once you understand those symbols. So in order to check your grades, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. You can either go into the course itself, and then on the left-hand side, under the course picture, click on grades. Or at the very top of your Schoology page, once you're logged in, there is a grades tab in the top center. And if you click on that, you can then click on the class that you want to look at, and it will expand the grade report for that class. There's a video in this slideshow if you would like to look at that process more in depth. We will also go through this first way when we go demo the gradebook as well. So once you are in the gradebook, there's a few different images. There's symbols, or sometimes you can hear them called flags, that you might see. So the first one is a green hexagon. And a green hexagon means that the assignment is excused. So maybe something came up and you talked to your teacher and they excused an assignment. That means that it is not affecting your overall grade. The next symbol you may see is also a hexagon. It's half orange and half white. That means that the assignment is incomplete. So maybe your teacher gave you an extension, but for whatever reason, it's not done yet. But again, it is not yet affecting your overall grade. It's not yet finished. The next symbol that you might see next to an assignment is a dash. If you see an assignment with a dash next to it, this means that the teacher has not yet graded it. So it's not affecting your overall grade. It's not helping you. It's not hurting you. Maybe you just turned it in and it hasn't yet been graded. And then the last symbol that you might see next to a specific assignment is an orange hexagon that's all white in the middle. That means that the work is missing. That is affecting your overall grade. It's being calculated as a 0. So that's 0 out of however many points the assignment was worth. So if it was a 100-point assignment, it's going to be hurting your grade more than if it was a 10-point assignment. The other symbol that you might see in the grade book is this little 4 squares, 2 gray, 1 blue, 1 green. That means that the assignment was graded using a rubric. You can click on the rubric and it will pull up the rubric itself as well as what you scored in each category. So if you see that little symbol, definitely click on it because it'll give you a lot more feedback about that particular assignment and where, if anywhere, you were missing any points and why. Other things to look out for when you're checking your grades are comments from your teacher. Teachers can write individual comments to you. So here's an example of one that a teacher could have written to me. Great work. Next time, try to use more evidence to support your argument. Also note that different categories are weighted differently and therefore will impact the overall grade differently. South uses process and product categories, and the weights of these categories vary depending on if you are freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. And we will look at more with the categories and weights here in a minute. But first, let's go ahead into Schoology and see what the gradebook looks like in action. So if I go into my Schoology course, and I already am in my course here. So this is the one that I want to check my grade for. It's another coach's sandbox. And I'm going to click grades on the left-hand side. And I'm in this course as a student, so it should look very similar to this for you. Now I can see, okay, it's a little bit different because there's not a process and a product category. There's a remote learning and an assessments category and an assignments category. I can see that the assignments category in this class is worth 19.8% of the grade. The assessments category is worth 69% of the grade, and the remote learning is worth 1% of the grade. I can see all of my assignments that are in that category. And then if I look on the right, I can see, okay, my portfolio example has not yet been graded. My porosity and permeability assignment has been marked as excused. So that is not being calculated into my overall grade. My Merrill mastery settings, I got 4 out of 4. And my Gale integration example, China reading, I got a 0 because it was marked missing. I did not turn that in, and it is affecting my grade. Same thing here in the assignments category. Here are all of the different assignments. Here is the overall grade for that category. And we'll talk more in a minute about how that was calculated based on this. But right now, I'd like you to note that all of these have not yet been graded by the teacher. My geo activity, I got a 93 out of 100. I had a practice assignment that was marked as incomplete, so it's not affecting my grade yet, but it's not finished yet. My practice 2 is marked as missing, so that is affecting my grade. On Quizlet, I got a 76 out of 100, and the teacher told me to please practice my vocab words more for homework. If I wanted to go back and click on it, I could open up the assignment and then continue working on that. Down here, it says, okay, Hamley reads week 2, and I see that rubric button. If I click on that rubric button, then it will pull up the rubric itself, and I can see, okay, I got an 8 out of 10 because most reading and logs were completed. On the discussion board example, I got a 1 out of 10, and there's the rubric. And the reason that I got a 1 out of 10 is because my answer needs improvement. It did not completely answer the question, and it did not use appropriate language. In the evidence category, I didn't use any evidence, and in responses to others, I didn't respond to anyone else. So that is why I got a 1 out of 10. All right, now we're going to look at how the grades are calculated based on those symbols. So this is a screenshot of my grades from the assignments category that I just showed you. So the first thing that we need to do is calculate the grade in each category separately. So I'm just going to do one category as an example. And to make this calculation, we're going to add up all of the points earned over all of the points possible. So in this example, my points earned, I got a 93. And then I have to add in the 0 for the one marked missing. Notice I skipped the incomplete assignment because it wasn't affecting my grade. I added in a 76, an 84, skipped these 3 lines that are not yet graded, added in an 8 and a 1. That's my numerator. That's what goes on top. And I divide that by all of the total points I could have earned. So this first assignment was worth 100. The missing assignment, it doesn't say right here, but I did go in and check. It was also worth 100. The third assignment was worth 100. The fourth assignment was worth 100. And these last 2 assignments were each worth 10. So when I add up the top, I got 262. When I added up the bottom, I got 420. When I did that division, I got 0.6238. But because it was a percent, I moved my decimal 2 places, and this category grade was 62.38%. And we would need to make this calculation for each category before going to the next step and combining the categories.